evening. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. We are at Munali Girls High School, and we're here auspiciously. We're here because we come to recognize again the leading role a Zambia woman is playing in leading women of disability and Zambians of disability. She has excelled in every area regardless of her disability. She wasn't born with a disability, but out of sickness she contracted a disability. She became deaf at the age of 7, and she has gone on to become the first Zambian female deaf woman to become a teacher and a graduate from the University of Zambia. She is also the first deaf Zambian master's degree holder teacher from the University of Zambia, and she's with us today. Her name, we're so honored to be with her. She's such an amazing woman. You see her, you just feel love and peace and warmth. That's the first thing we saw when we came into her office, and we are recording from her office today. Her name is Liz Kapansa Kamukwamba, and we're in her office today, and we just want to welcome her to Scars to Stars. Lizzie, welcome to Scars to Stars.
Thank you.
We're in your office today because we have heard of your achievement that in spite of your disability, you have taken up the role to teach and to help every disabled person, deaf person, to learn, to hear, and to become successful. So we've come to hear from you. What is your motivation? How come you are now a leader? You've served on the board of the NGOCC. You have served women in disability. You have served our nation, all the disabled, and you are fighting for them. So we want to hear, who is Lizzie and how did she become this person?
My name is Liz Kapansa. I'm deaf. I was not born deaf. I was born hearing, but because of sickness, I became deaf. I was born from Chief Kisunga village in Iroapla province. That's where I was born. To Mr. Chama Kamkwamba and my mother Juliana Mwewa.
And how did they help you grow?
How did they?
You got deaf at 7 through illness. How did they help you? You didn't feel sorry for yourself, and you've come up to be the first woman, deaf woman with a master's, with a degree from the University of Zambia.
When I became this, I was very young. It was hard, but she knew he lost in hearing. It's not easy thing. But same time, I accepted. Because nothing can change. Even if I became deaf, I knew that yes, things were hard, but nothing would change. Doctors in hospital were
When was he in hospital?
He lost her hearing when she was still in hospital. Doctors in hospital there were there to do something for her. They sent her to Kalulushi to start school. Because there at Kalulushi, that's where the school for the deaf is.
Okay. Now, did the deafness affect her speech? How did that affect her speech? And how did that affect herself?
How affected herself?
Deafness
of the speech. When she became deaf, she was young.
The language was Bemba.
The first language was Bemba. Meaning she can speak Bemba very well, but English she late after became deaf. Meaning she cannot pronounce some words. It was difficult. The words she learned through writing or not speaking.
So she can speak, right now she can speak Bemba very well.
Yes, you can. Even writing.
Fantastic.
That's good.
Now, how did that disability, most women, first of all, being a woman, sometimes society treats you like a disability. Now you have another disability. How did that affect your growth?
How women treat you? How did the society affected you?
Some people accepted, but others, it's different. When they look at me, this deaf woman.
Because in some families, we've talked to some women, and when they have a daughter in the family, they make them feel they don't have a child because there's no man. Now she is now a daughter. Now she now have a second disability, if you like.
You have.
Which was the deafness.
You have a daughter, this one.
In a lot of families,
in many families,
when they have a daughter, they feel they don't have a family, they don't have a man, they don't have a male child. They are not happy. Because they feel, until they have a man, they don't have a child. But now she is a daughter and she's deaf, which is like double. Did that affect her as she was growing up?
Affect your growth. Having daughter, they definitely affect the family.
When she became deaf, the mother did not accept. She used to cry. But also, she had to accept it. Even her, she had to accept the mother. She had no power over that.
My family accepted.
Her family accepted her very. They never discriminate her. When they visit them, they will welcome her very well. The family is very okay.
So they treated her like every other child.
Yes, they treated her like any other child. Because when she was at home, she started living with her brother to her mother. The uncle treated her like any other child. Even now, even this time, they call her his mother.
Well, that's fantastic. Did that help her in her way to be courageous to want to become a woman? And she didn't feel sorry for herself?
Very much.
And for other people today, when she looks back, how do you feel about when you see people treating deaf people? When they treat deaf people like they are less.
Like they are less.
How do you feel when you see that? And they are not treating them like they treat other children?
I don't feel what.
She doesn't feel okay.
I speak against that.
Many times she speaks against that. Because the person with disability is just like other person. Those who discriminate people with disability, they have a problem with their thinking. They need to be taught to be awareness about disability and their rights. All of us, we have the same rights. So looking at that person with the disability in a different, it is wrong.
What inspired you to go on to become the first female deaf graduate in Zambia from UNZA and the first master's degree holder? What inspired you?
Yes, she used to see other people being excelled, going to university, and she said, I can also do that.
Did you have other girls in school that were deaf like you that helped you to go through school?
Encourage you to go to school.
The time she became deaf, no any other person to look up to. No, not even one.
My teachers,
the teachers she had, the sisters who kept her from the child, encouraged her to work hard. And she worked very hard.
So the sisters in her school, what school is that?
The sisters at school, what school was that? Which school? The sister?
Primary school.
Primary school, St. Joseph in Kalulushi. That's where she grew up.
Okay.
And that's where they took care of her.
So the sisters in Kalulushi, St. Joseph's Primary School, what did they teach you? How did that build you up in your character and your leadership?
The sisters encouraged to be focused to school also, and they used to give out books from other countries who have excelled in other countries. With that, it motivated her.
So from what she said, she only learned English after she was deaf, so she had to read and basically teach herself English.
Yes, that helped her very much. And sisters used to give her a lot of books for reading. So she has read a lot of books. Even when she was at secondary school at Roma Girls, the friends used to give her different books.
How did her friends teach her? What did your friends do to help you? Did they accept you? Did they help you?
You teach you.
The friends at Roma did not look at her as a deaf person. They saw her as Kapansarizi, as a friend, always encouraging her.
So what was the challenge you communicating at that? Because at that time a lot of us didn't have sign language. So how did you communicate?
Sign language. The friend used to speak Bemba and writing.
Okay.
and then exchange.
Okay. So they used to write for you to read.
So write for
to
you
communicate.
To communicate with you. Yes, some. Okay. Others were speaking. If I speak and I fail to understand, they write.
So you have been a winner from a long time. You've been facing challenges for a long time.
You've been a winner for a long time.
How did all that, when you look back today and you didn't give up, how does that make you feel?
Stop. How did that, how do you feel? Because you never look back. How do you feel? She feels good. And be focused.
In your experience, therefore, when we look at you now, you are standing for the rights of people with disability, women with disability. You've served on NGOCC for over 4 years.
4 years.
You were with them in their leadership.
Leadership.
How has all this affected your leadership journey?
Affected your leadership. When she joined NGOCC, women with a disability picked her to represent her at NGOCC. He learned many things there which she never knew before. There are a lot of things that she learned from NGOCC.
So can she give me some? What are the things you learned that positively have affected you?
That positive affected you. Their way of talking. They speak things in general, not about disability. When you talk about the things, the rights of women, they are connected to the rights of women with disabilities. Fighting for equality in the society. Help building other women who have failed to make it in life.
And people of disability oftentimes are forgotten in our society.
People with disability forgotten in society.
So you find that first of all, we don't treat women with equality. And it's even worse with women with disability. How have you faced those challenges in your leadership journey?
In leadership, you have to fight for the rights of women with disability, because women with disability, most of them are discriminated. When gender and women plus women, they are discriminated. They look at the weak, then disability. Men, women with disability, they have to fight for their problems. They need more support.
And for you, you were not born deaf. But after 7, a sickness. You faced this. Through that period, from then till now, we want to have a glimpse into your life, your day-to-day life, meeting people, facing challenges. A lot of people end up, they're like victims. They make people feel sorry for them. But you have gone on to be a great achiever. So what is it that made you keep going on, that you never stopped? So can you share with us some of the experiences, how you felt and how you overcame, so that somebody listening today can learn from your experience?
Having disability. Not meaning that her life is finished. Having disability does not mean the life has ended. No. But it continues better building. Continue building myself, working, being educated. Many people with disability, they think because of the disability I should just sit. And people should come and help me because I'm disability. When they have their hands to work, they have eyes to see. They can work and learn from other people. Not to sit, expecting people to give them. That's why the people have taken advantage of us people with disability.
Can she share with us some challenges you have faced?
Share.
A few challenges you faced?
Few.
And how you overcame them?
How you overcame them. The problem she has faced, I think, yes, the challenge I have, if you look at me, I'm educated, she has been educated, and if you look at the promotion, I've not been promoted. As a person with disability, she's very wise. And she can even beat others with who are able-bodied. But because of disability, people, they doubt how is she capable to do things. People started working with others are in the high office, but this one she has continued teaching. That has affected her. So, as person with disability, if we want to fight for some of these things, we just remain like this. So we need to fight.
So they have gone over her, bypassed her to promote other people, but looked at her as somebody with disability, and they have judged her ability because of that disability. Yes. Sometimes when you write application for a position, she's been applied to work in others. You find that others, they go, her she remains. So they discriminate. People never accept it because of disability. They don't accept it, which is not good. It's not a good reasoning. No. So they discriminate basically whenever she comes. So they discriminate. When she's there competing, she has the ability to do it, but they discriminate in selection. With others, they discriminate, picking others. It happens, but they don't show. They don't show. They just pretend as if but her herself, they know that it's because of this. That's why they haven't picked me. But she has all the qualifications. So when you face that, don't you go home defeated? Don't you go home frustrated? Don't you go home angry? This one, she's saying, I'm never defeated. One day I'll get it. So what gave you that character that you are never defeated? Where did you learn that from? That character. Other people feel sorry for themselves and they stop. Feel sorry for themselves. But you is different. I feel it's not she feels sorry not for herself. People feel sorry for me. People feel sorry for her, but I also feel sorry for them, but not for herself. She will continue fighting. Not promoted. Tomorrow she will be promoted. And you are married. Let's come to your marriage. And married. You are so beautiful. Everybody in Zambia can see that. Beautiful. Oh,
I can see that.
Didn't men walk away and say, I don't want to marry? Then how did you communicate with your husband to say, I do?
No, because of disability. How did you communicate to your husband? Her husband also has a disability. She's hard of hearing.
Okay.
Yes.
So how did you both communicate?
How both communicate? Through sign language. They communicate through sign and he speaks.
So thank God for sign language.
So, for sign language. So, thank God for sign language. Yes.
How has it been raising your children?
How?
Because they are fully, they are not deaf. They can speak, they can hear.
Your children, because they are not deaf, can speak. How have you brought up your children?
Particularly where you and your husband
Where
have
you and your husband have
that disability.
when God gives children, give the person children, he does not choose that this one because of disability I would give the children. God cannot give me something that I cannot handle. Her children understand both parents that they are deaf. They keep them the same way other parents keep their children. They have grown up well. The firstborn finished university. The second-born still at university. They are good children. They communicate with her in sign language. They speak, same time use sign language.
So when they are trying to be naughty, because they know mommy and daddy are not hearing us, how do you catch them?
How do you catch them? It's important to know with their eyes. I also give them discipline.
That is wonderful.
That is good.
Let's talk about some of.
If she tells them, and I don't like this, they stop. They listen, they stop. They respect them.
So you have such good children.
So you have good children.
They finish school. Your son has finished university.
Son finished university.
And he has learned to go and help people with disability.
Go help people with disability.
Study special education also.
Okay, her son also.
So do you think it's because of you and your husband he chose that career?
I think because you had very choose it.
I don't think so.
Doesn't think so? Maybe she got something from them.
Okay. I want to talk some of your achievements. What do you, in the last so many years, what have you used your life to do? To serve your community? To serve women?
To serve women.
I know a lot of them, they've not been recognized.
And community, yes, not recognized.
But tell us some of the things you have done and you are doing.
Wow, to serve the community. She's in the association of, or she's a board member in the association for the deaf, Zanadi. The association have helped many deaf, teaching them language to communicate, and also teaching the parents who have children who are deaf. Then you go out to teach about the rights. How can deaf use sign language interpreters? So many programs. When COVID came, some deaf not did not have information about it. We went through Ministry of Health to ask for money so that we can go in different provinces to teach the deaf so that the deaf know about it, the COVID-19. Same with the HIV/AIDS. We go to the Ministry of Health to ask for money and go in different provinces to teach deaf to be aware about the dangers of HIV/AIDS.
So I see a cup on your table, and that cup, did you win it from that service where you were serving with HIV/AIDS?
She said the trophy.
A trophy
Or trophy on the
about winning for youth HIV/AIDS.
you win about it.
Because there are two very significant cups on your table.
Two
One is a trophy,
on the table. One
which is first prize
first
for HIV/AIDS.
for HIV.
So what's that about?
What's it about that?
This trophy,
The trophy.
this one.
Kazi and when firstly this position they win this trophy. This one.
Yes, please. What was her answer?
Can you,
So I said this cup they won.
this cup they won.
This trophy they won.
They won the trophy.
What was the award for?
What was the winning for? The winning for this cup was about what? For their achievement in what? In the ATAS competition which they had with other, with hearing, the deaf won.
So the deaf won this competition in HIV.
Yes, they won. It was the program about HIV/AIDS, which they won the trophy. Then they became in the first position. They had sports.
And she was the one that has raised them and lead them.
In these sports they won. Yes, she was part of the group.
Does she support football as well?
Do you support football?
Because I see this Arsenal cup.
Because
on your...
now they careful. I said no, if you read the red cup there. Do you support football?
Not much.
Not much.
Okay, not much. Because I wanted to tell you are the greatest woman in the world if you are supporting Arsenal. So let's go back to your achievements. Apart from your work with the NGOCC and of course and with the being on the board of the Zambian Association for the Deaf. What else are you doing that is helping your community and the disabled? I know.
I think she has already discussed that.
Okay. Let's talk about then. Let's come to your workspace.
Now.
Your workspace. How have they treated you? How have they related with you? I know you have won some awards for being the most hardworking teacher. How have they received you?
The relationship between them is good. If you can see, she's signing for me. There's a good relationship between us.
Fantastic.
Yeah, wow.
How about with the school and with your other colleagues?
How about the school and other friends. How about the relationship? The school and it is very good. It is a very good relationship. She has worked here for 20 years now.
20 years?
The relationship has been very good.
So they've supported her through, after her degrees, into her masters, and believed in her.
Very, very supportive.
Very, very supportive. When she was going for masters, friends informed her that they have advertised for masters. So we went with the friends to get the forms and apply for masters.
And how did you feel when you went through masters? You paid yourself. You were not sponsored, but you went on with your small salary.
Very small salary. It was hard, but she had to fight for herself. Many deaf say they cannot go to university because there's no promotion, the salary is big too bad. But her, she continued and she went. She's not in the service for man, but to help other children to excel in life.
That is the most noble way to live, where your life is to contribute and help to other people. So we really appreciate and applaud you.
Thank you and praise you.
Because you haven't given up.
Because never give up.
So how are you passing this courageous character, this character of not giving up, how are you passing it to your students? In the last 20 years you've been teaching students, and you are teaching children with disability. So do you teach them just knowledge, or you teach them this character?
From the time we started work, many of us passed through her hands. She teaches them many things, not only science, teaching them morals, how to live in the society, how to stand strong, to know their rights. Even those who are married, they go to her when they have a problem in their house. Okay, she's like a mother to a deaf community.
Being a leader, being somebody that has pioneered, you are the first to have a degree, you are the first to have the masters as a deaf woman in Zambia from UNZA. Does that place a lot of responsibility on you? Because you said you didn't have role models.
Because we never see anyone you alone.
So are you now using this to encourage other people to be better and show them they can do it since you did it?
Yeah, she uses the same. Sometimes I tell the others, they come to me and tell her that I want to give her. Then she tells them that everything is difficult. There's nothing, anything simple. You just have to fight hard to have faith in life. If you say it's difficult, I stop.
No.
You never get it anywhere.
So how would you advise somebody watching? Okay, she hasn't finished. She was saying something. Please let her finish.
Some people can be negative. Example, when she finished school, she started to become a teacher. People start laughing and discouraging her, like just sit, you're wasting time. But she never heard from that. Even Minister of Education, they said that if you cannot teach, how are you going to teach children who stop going, go and do other things? But she refused. But today, look at her, she's a teacher.
So we have to begin.
If you just hear any negative things you see it, any negative things you see it, it's a problem. Many people with disability, they just sit, it's because of not because of listen to negative, what should I say, negative attitude or negative attitude. They have negative attitude. At the end, they just sit doing nothing.
So with her experience now, imagine that society is sitting in front of you now.
Now.
Imagine the person in front of you is called society.
Society.
What would you say to society?
What do you say to society?
That society must stop doing.
That society should stop doing.
To children of disability. So look at society in your face now and talk to society.
Now, talk to society. First, you talk to the people with disability. Never should you look at to negative attitude. Use your brain to empower yourself.
I can't do this. Then you need another person because you have a disability.
When you have a disability and you want to do something, then you hear somebody say you have a disability, and then you say, no, that she never said, she never sat. What? She said to the society that must accept people with disability. If the person with disability wants to, let them try. If they fight, let be better that way than just to let them be without doing anything. Society must look at a person with disability in a positive mind, with a positive mind, not negative, no. Pulling people with disability down is not good. Better to encourage them, support them. That is right.
I want to ask you, ma'am, in your journey so far, these things you are saying, you must have got it from somewhere. From you. Who are the people that made you start thinking this way? Who are the people that put this mindset? Because other people with disability, they give up. They become beggars, they become burdens. But you are changing society.
But
you are sitting on boards. You are helping making the right decisions. Who helped to shape your thinking? That you are like this. This is amazing.
Even myself. No.
God.
It's only God.
So you've been a fighter like this.
So you believe something.
You believe nothing is impossible.
From childhood,
From childhood the same.
So can we say that this disability has made you who you are today?
So meaning this disability made you where you are. I think so.
Made you have a degree.
Made you have
a master's.
A degree, a master's.
It keeps pushing you to achieve more
Disability
things.
makes you push to achieve many things. That's their personality, not because of disability.
So that personality has helped you overcome your disability.
So that personality help you to become yes.
when was in Sri Lanka, the friend for 6 years was to the
Even when she was young, 5 years since, she was still a fighter.
So if she's like,
her mother used to complain that this child is a problem. So from childhood, not that it's a disability, no.
so your personality has helped you overcome your disability.
Yes.
I think that's a huge lesson, that if every woman is hearing you, they should be learning. Because sometimes women make that being a woman is a disability. And society makes us believe sometimes that being a woman is a disability, which is very wrong. You are saying that no matter your disability, your personality, your courage will help anybody overcome their disability. What do you say about that?
That's correct. Having a disability does not mean you should do weak. And disability can change a way of behavior of somebody.
What would you say to the woman watching you now?
What do you say?
All dressed up in your office, looking so wonderful.
Sitting here in the office. What do you say to women outside?
For them to become the great women they can be. Because if they were feeling sorry for you, you won't become this woman you are. So what should you say to that woman watching?
Yes, it's true. When women see me, they get something. How this, for example, learning with other people who listen, and learning same time with the people who listen. But they need to be focused. Nothing is impossible. Just be focused. That's the most important thing. Any woman with disability or not with disability can progress in life. They need just to be focused.
Can I ask you, do you drive?
Do you drive?
Do you get...
She's learning.
You're learning how to drive.
She's learning how to drive.
And the other thing you do in your daily life?
Other things to do in your life.
How do you cope with them?
Oh, okay. She does cooking, baking. She loves baking.
That is fantastic.
Cleaning the house, planting flowers, watering the flowers herself.
So you're living a perfect life like everybody else.
Perfect life like other. Yes.
And to her, her disability is not a disability.
So to you, disability not
Never, no. Disability cannot challenge me. Sometimes she forgets that she's deaf.
The people speak
when people speak, so she realizes that, oh, I'm deaf. But she
So to you don't even think you are deaf.
So you never think that
It's people that remind you that you are deaf.
No, it's
people and circumstances.
remember.
yeah. When they are communicating, it's when she remembers that. When she's speaking, especially at home, she forgets that she's deaf.
You know, what I see from that is this. The way you see yourself is so important to the way you achieve in life. Because if you saw yourself as deaf, you behave like a deaf person.
In society.
But you don't see yourself as deaf. That's why you are behaving the way you behave. It means women perform based on the way women see themselves.
Women will do things when they see themselves.
So when women see themselves as a woman, then they start behaving in a certain way, saying, oh, I'm a woman. But if they see themselves as a leader, as a champion, just like you said, I don't even see myself as deaf. And you have gone on to achieve so many things. So women should start seeing themselves as great, as leaders, because they will perform the way they see themselves. Would you agree with that?
Like they see themselves. Do you agree?
Yes, she agrees very much.
So you basically are not a role model to a disabled person. You are a role model to every Zambian. You have been teaching not just Zambian women, but every Zambian.
Not Zambian, but every Zambian.
And we want to appreciate you.
We want to appreciate you
for winning the battle.
For winning the
of overcoming the first picture of seeing yourself as a winner, not as a disabled person.
As a winner.
And you have gone on to live your life.
And you've gone to live your life.
Making way for other people.
Making way for other people.
And we really thank you for that.
Thank you for that.
As we wrap up now, so many women are watching.
So many.
Particularly your old girls from St. Joseph and Roma girls. I know they are clapping for you now.
St. Joseph and Roma. I know now.
Very much.
Roma girls are very supportive.
Roma girls are very, very supportive to her.
I seem to be falling in love with Roma girls.
This one now, we love.
Because Roma girls, St. Fatima girls,
Roma girls,
not St. Fatima girls.
St. Fatima
girls.
Fatima girls.
St. Joseph.
St. Joseph.
They are producing leaders for Zambia.
They have made leaders for Zambia.
To the people watching.
To people watching.
As we wrap it up.
As we end.
What is your message you are sending to them?
What message? Sending to people saying.
What are you challenging them to do?
What are you telling them to do? My minister,
The message is to the deaf.
Okay.
Remain focused.
Can you please interpret it so that the deaf can see it on camera?
Okay. Okay. Her message to deaf people must remain focused. Not thinking because I have a disability I can stay. No. Must work hard and see themselves equal with the other people who can. They can go to people who can help them and contribute to develop our country. All those who are in school must be focused. Finish school because education, when a deaf gets it will help to live in life living fully in the society. Education, even if you have a problem, just lost nothing. Not only thinking about marriage, but being focused in marriage. The man or man can one time disappoint you, but education will never disappoint you.
I like that very much. Education will never disappoint you. We should make a bumper sticker. Men will disappoint you. Education will never disappoint you.
Men will disappoint you, but education will disappoint you.
You should teach every woman that.
Teach every woman that. I teach. She teaches always. She talks.
We want to thank you, Liz.
Thank you, Pansa, Lizzie,
for being with us today.
For being with us today.
They really say treasure is hidden. Diamonds, you find them hidden in the ground.
Hidden.
Gold, you find them hidden in the ground.
Golden, hidden in the ground.
You are one of Zambia's precious diamonds.
Good.
They have been hiding in Munali girls.
Hiding Munali girls.
But now we want all of Zambia to see.
All Zambia to see.
That we have a national treasure.
That we have a national treasure.
The first woman, Zambian, to graduate with a degree, deaf. A deaf woman graduating. And without support.
Without support.
You paid yourself. You paid your masters.
Paid your masters.
You got your master's degree. From University of Zambia. And now you are helping other women, disabled women, to stand up as equals. We celebrate you. Lizzie, we want to thank you.
Thank you.
You fought your battles. You won. And now we celebrate you on television.
Now we celebrate you on the TV.
Thank you for being such an inspiration, Kabansa.
Thank you for being encouragement.
You are a joy to your family.
You are a joy to your family.
You are a gem to our nation.
You are a joy to a nation.
And we celebrate you today.
Celebrate you today.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. You are welcome. Thank you.
Please tell your husband and your children.
Tell your husband and the children.
You have a superhero.
You have.
They have a superhero living in their house.
They have a superhero.
So when they want to do Wonder Woman, they should come to the house next time.
When they want to do Wonder, you come to your house.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
We are so grateful.
Very grateful.
Viewers, you have been watching us from Munali High School for Girls, Mulali Girls High School. And we've been interviewing Lizzie Kapansa, and she is the first female graduate from UNZA with a degree in helping the disabled people, in hearing the deaf. She also has a master's, and you've listened to her. You've listened to her story. You've listened to the champion that is in her. You have listened to how she has overcome challenges and never saw herself. And she leaves us with a great message to women that never see yourself as a woman, see yourself as a person. Enjoy your uniqueness, celebrate your uniqueness as a woman, but it is not a disability, it is not a disadvantage. It is the way we think that defines how we behave, how we perform. And she has never seen herself as disadvantaged or disabled, but she has gone on to break every barrier, to break the ceiling, the glass ceiling, and to show what people can do. She doesn't see herself as a disabled person. She sees herself as a person. And she's leaving us with this, that it is the way you see yourself, you will reach. So if you change your picture and not see yourself the way society wants to see you, you can become the greatest woman that has lived and served in Zambia. We thank Lizzie for being with us tonight, and we thank you for watching this excellent story tonight. And we wait for you as you join us tomorrow as we profile another leading woman, another great woman facing challenges, overcoming them, coming from scars to become stars in the same nation. And we all can do it. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for being on this program, Scars to Stars. We will see you tomorrow as we bring another great woman, another great Zambian woman to showcase herself. God bless you.